Have you ever looked at your trading account and thought, there's no way this amount of money can change my life? Maybe it's $100. Maybe it's $500. Maybe it's $2,000. You open social media and someone is making $10,000 in a day. Another trader claims they turned a tiny account into six figures. Another screenshot. Another luxury car. Another mansion. Another perfect life. Meanwhile, you look at your own account and it feels insignificant. So you start thinking, if I want meaningful money, I need bigger positions. I need more leverage. I need to recover losses faster. I need to grow this account as quickly as possible. And without realizing it, you've already made the mistake that destroys most small accounts. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most small accounts don't stay small because of money. They stay small because of expectations. Think about it. If someone handed you $1 million today, would you suddenly become a better trader? No. You would simply become the same trader with bigger consequences. That's terrifying, because it means the real problem isn't your account size. It's your decision making. The market doesn't know whether your account has $100 or 100 million. It doesn't care. The chart moves exactly the same. The opportunities remain exactly the same. The only thing that changes is your behavior. And that's where almost every small account trader loses. Not on the chart. Inside their own mind. The strange part? The traders who eventually build large accounts rarely think like people with large accounts. They first learn to think like professionals, and professionals understand something that beginners don't. Your first job is not to make money. Your first job is to prove you deserve more capital. That sounds harsh. But imagine hiring someone to manage your life savings. Would you trust the person who doubles their position every time they're frustrated? Would you trust the person who moves their stop loss because they have a feeling? Would you trust someone who changes strategies every week? Of course not. Yet thousands of traders do exactly that with their own money. Then they blame the account size. But the account was never the enemy. Impatience was. And over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about why having a small account can actually become your greatest advantage. If you stop treating it like a curse. Because the habits you build with a small account are the same habits you'll carry into a large one. And that realization changes everything. Why most small accounts never become big accounts. The biggest lie in trading isn't that making money is easy. It's that making money requires more money. Almost every beginner believes this. They look at their account and think, if only I had $50,000, I'd finally become profitable. But let's ask a different question. If someone deposited $50,000 into your account tonight, would your habits magically improve tomorrow? Would you suddenly become patient? Would you suddenly stop revenge trading? Would you suddenly respect your stop loss? Would you suddenly stop over-leveraging? Probably not. You would simply make bigger mistakes. That's the painful reality. Money doesn't fix bad habits. It amplifies them. Think about someone who can't control spending. Giving them more money rarely solves the problem. It usually creates a bigger problem. Trading works exactly the same way. The market is like a giant amplifier. It takes your habits and makes them visible. If you're disciplined, discipline becomes visible. If you're impatient, impatience becomes expensive. If you're emotional, emotion becomes costly, and that's why so many traders stay trapped. They believe their account size is holding them back, when in reality, their habits are. Imagine two traders, both start with $500. Trader number one says, this isn't enough, so he risks 20% on every trade. He doubles position sizes. He chases losses. He forces setups. Every day becomes a race, not against the market, against time, because he believes success must happen quickly. Now imagine trader number two, same account, same market, same opportunities, but a different mindset. He treats $500 like it's 500 million. He journals. He waits. He follows his plan. He accepts losses. He protects capital. To an outsider, the second trader looks slow, maybe even boring. But professional trading is boring. Airline pilots don't try exciting landings. Surgeons don't try exciting operations. Professionals value consistency over adrenaline. Yet in trading, people chase excitement. And excitement usually sends them back to zero. Here's something nobody tells beginners. Your small account is actually an interview. The market is asking one question. If I gave you more money, would you deserve it? Every decision you make answers that question. Every revenge trade answers it. Every impulsive entry answers it. Every disciplined exit answers it. The market is constantly evaluating your behavior, not because it's alive, but because your results are simply a reflection of your habits. And habits compound. Not just profits, habits. If you build discipline with $500, you'll carry discipline into $50,000. If you build recklessness with $500, you'll carry recklessness into $50,000. That's why professionals don't dream about bigger accounts. They dream about becoming better traders, because they know something beginners don't. A larger account doesn't create a better trader. A better trader creates a larger account. And that single realization changes the entire journey, because now the goal is no longer to grow money. The goal is to grow yourself, the dangerous need to get rich fast. There's a sentence almost every trader has whispered to themselves, maybe not out loud, but inside their head. If I can just double this account, then life will finally change. Then I'll have confidence. Then I'll have freedom. Then everything will be different. The dream feels so close, so real, so possible. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because when people become emotionally attached to a number, they stop making logical decisions. Imagine someone walking into a casino with their last $500. They don't see chips. They see rent. They see bills. They see their future. Every bet suddenly feels heavier. Every loss feels personal. Every win feels like salvation. Trading can become exactly the same. The smaller the account, the bigger the emotional pressure. That's why many beginners don't actually trade. They negotiate with reality. The trade moves against them. Instead of accepting the loss, they start hoping it'll come back. It has to. Just one more candle, then one more, then another. Hope slowly replaces discipline. And hope is not a trading strategy, it's an emotion. The market has no obligation to reward hope, yet thousands of traders keep risking their future on it. Because they aren't chasing consistency. They're chasing escape. Escape from financial stress. Escape from insecurity. Escape from feeling left behind. Social media makes it worse. Every day someone claims they turned $100 into $20,000. Someone else posts a luxury apartment, a sports car, a trading setup with a perfect entry. You never see the blown accounts. You never see the months of failure. You never see the sleepless nights. You only see the highlight reel. And slowly, comparison becomes poison. You stop asking, am I improving? You start asking, why am I not there yet? That question destroys patience, and patience is the currency of professional traders. The truth is uncomfortable. Most small accounts don't fail because they're too small. They fail because their owners demand impossible growth. Imagine planting a tree, then digging it up every morning to see if it's growing. That's exactly what many traders do. They check profits every hour, change strategies every week, question themselves every day. Growth needs time. Discipline needs repetition. Confidence needs evidence. None of those things happen overnight. Professional traders understand this. They don't wake up trying to become rich today. They wake up trying to become better today. Because they know something extraordinary. If you become the kind of person who deserves consistent profits, profits eventually become a consequence. But if all you chase is money, you'll often sacrifice the very habits that create it. That's the paradox. The people obsessed with getting rich quickly usually stay stuck the longest. The people obsessed with improving slowly often surprise everyone years later, and that leads to a question every trader should ask themselves. Are you trying to grow your account, or are you trying to grow into the person who can handle a bigger account? Because those are two completely different journeys, and only one of them lasts. How professional traders think about small accounts. There's something fascinating about professional traders. When they look at a small account, they don't see limitations. They see information. Every trade becomes feedback. Every mistake becomes data. Every journal entry becomes evidence. Most beginners never think this way. They believe the account exists to make money. Professionals believe the account exists to build habits. That's a massive difference. Imagine two musicians. One spends every day dreaming about performing in front of 50,000 people. The other spends every day practicing scales. Who eventually becomes the better musician? The answer seems obvious. Yet in trading, people do the opposite. They dream about the mansion, the supercar, the beach house, the freedom, but they avoid the boring repetition required to earn those things. Because discipline isn't exciting. It's repetitive, and repetition feels slow. Human beings love immediate rewards. The market rewards delayed rewards. That's why so many people struggle. They want tomorrow's lifestyle without today's discipline. Now imagine you own a company. You're hiring someone to manage millions of dollars. The candidate walks in and says, I get emotional after losses. I double my position when I'm frustrated. I ignore my rules when I feel confident. Would you hire that person? Of course not. So ask yourself a difficult question. Why should the market trust you with more capital? When you don't trust yourself with the capital you already have, that's uncomfortable. But it's necessary. Because the market doesn't promote people, it exposes them. If you're impatient, it exposes impatience. If you're greedy, it exposes greed. If you're disciplined, it exposes discipline. The account is simply a mirror, and mirrors don't lie. Many traders spend years trying to fix the reflection. Very few fix the person standing in front of it. That's why professionals become obsessed with systems, not motivation. Motivation disappears. Systems remain. Some mornings you'll feel confident. Some mornings you'll feel terrible. Your emotions will change. Your routine shouldn't. Professionals don't wake up asking, do I feel like following my plan today? They follow the plan first. Their feelings catch up later. That's what makes them professionals. Think about airline pilots. Imagine hearing this announcement. Good morning, everyone. Today the captain isn't really feeling disciplined, so we'll improvise the landing. You'd want to leave the plane immediately, yet traders improvise every single day. One extra position, one larger risk, one ignored stop loss, one emotional decision, and they call it confidence. It isn't confidence. It's inconsistency wearing confidence as clothes. The best traders understand something simple. Your account today is preparing you for the account you'll have tomorrow. If you cannot protect a small account, you won't protect a large one. If you cannot respect small money, you won't respect big money. Because money changes size. Habits don't. That's why professionals don't ask, how fast can I grow this account? They ask, what kind of trader am I becoming while I grow this account? And that question quietly separates careers from blown accounts. The day you stop chasing money. There's one final lesson that almost every profitable trader learns. Unfortunately, most people learn it too late. When you first start trading, your goal is money, nothing else. You imagine paying off debt, buying your dream car, helping your family, leaving your job, escaping financial stress. There's nothing wrong with those dreams. They're powerful. They're motivating. But they can also become dangerous. Because when money becomes the only goal, every decision becomes emotional. You stop seeing trades. You start seeing possibilities. This trade could change everything. If this works, I'll finally catch up. If I just make 20% today, suddenly, one position carries the weight of your entire future. That's an impossible burden. And the market punishes impossible expectations. Think about the greatest athletes in the world. When they step onto the field, they aren't thinking about trophies every second. They're thinking about execution. The next pass, the next shot, the next movement. Because championships are built from thousands of small decisions. Trading is no different. Your future account is being built by today's habits, not today's profits. That's why professional traders become obsessed with tiny victories, following the plan, respecting the stop loss, waiting patiently, closing the laptop after a bad day, writing in the journal. Those actions don't feel exciting. In fact, they often feel disappointing. Because your brain wants excitement. Your brain wants immediate reward. Your brain wants proof that success is close. But real progress is quiet. Very quiet. No celebration. No fireworks. No viral screenshot. Just another disciplined day. Then another. Then another. People look at successful traders and think, they got lucky. They found a secret. They have better information. Maybe. But more often, they simply repeated boring behaviors longer than everyone else. That's difficult to accept. Because humans love dramatic stories. A single trade. A single opportunity. A single breakthrough. Reality is less cinematic. Success usually arrives disguised as repetition. The same process. The same routine. The same discipline. Again, and again, and again. One day, you'll open your journal and realize something. Your account didn't change first. You did. Your emotions became smaller. Your patience became greater. Your decisions became calmer. Your expectations became realistic. And only then, did your results begin to change? That's why I believe a small account can be one of the greatest advantages a trader ever has. Because it teaches lessons cheaply. Imagine making a terrible mistake with a $500 account. It hurts. Now imagine making that exact same mistake with a $500,000 account. The lesson becomes life-changing. Your small account is giving you permission to become better before the stakes become enormous. Don't waste that opportunity. Because the market is watching something far more important than your balance. It's watching your behavior. And behavior becomes destiny. That's the irony of trading. The people who chase money often lose it. The people who chase mastery often find both. One day you'll be glad you started small. So, let's go back to the question we started with. What if you have a small trading account? Should you quit? Should you wait until you have more money? Should you take bigger risks? Should you try to double it every week? No, because that's exactly what most traders do. And that's exactly why most traders never make it. The truth is, your small account is not an obstacle. It's a test of your patience, a test of your discipline, a test of your emotional control. And every single day, you're answering one question. If I had 10 times more money, would I behave any differently? Most people believe a bigger account creates confidence. Reality is the opposite. Confidence creates bigger accounts, not fake confidence. Not the confidence that comes from one lucky trade. Real confidence. The confidence that says, I can follow my rules even after 3 losses. I can walk away when there is no setup. I can accept being wrong. I don't need the market to make me feel smart. That's the confidence professionals build. And it isn't built overnight. It is built through repetition. One disciplined trade, then another, until discipline becomes identity. Think about the people you admire. Whether they're traders, athletes, entrepreneurs, or musicians. None of them became exceptional because of one day. They became exceptional because they respected ordinary days. The days nobody applauded. The days nobody noticed. The days where the only victory was simply showing up and doing the right thing. Trading is exactly the same. The market doesn't owe you success because you want it badly. It doesn't reward desperation. It doesn't reward impatience. It rewards consistency. And consistency is invisible while it's being built. That's why so many people quit. They're standing inches away from progress, but because they can't see it, they assume it isn't happening. Imagine building a wall. Every brick looks insignificant. You place one brick, nothing changes. You place another, still nothing. Then another, then another. Weeks later, people walk by and say, "Wow, look at that wall." They never saw the thousands of small actions that created it. Your trading career works the same way. Every journal entry is a brick. Every disciplined exit is a brick. Every trade you refuse to force is a brick. Every emotional decision you avoid is a brick. Individually, they seem meaningless. Together, they build the trader you will become. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Your small account was never supposed to make you rich. It was supposed to make you ready. Ready for responsibility. Ready for pressure. Ready for opportunity. Because opportunity means nothing without preparation. One day, your account balance will be different. Your experience will be different. Your confidence will be different. But when that day arrives, it won't be because you found a secret strategy. It will be because you became a different person. And years from now, when someone asks you how you finally became consistent, you probably won't talk about an indicator, or an entry technique, or a chart pattern. You'll remember the day you stopped chasing fast money and started chasing mastery, because that's the day your small account stopped being a limitation and became the foundation of everything that came after. So if you're watching this with a small account, don't be embarrassed by it. Respect it. Protect it. Learn from it. Because one day, you may realize that the smallest account you ever had taught you the biggest lesson of your trading career. If this video changed the way you think about trading, subscribe. Because on this channel, we're not trying to become lucky traders. We're trying to become professional thinkers. And in the long run, that's what the market rewards.